Are you aware of the process?
Process, yeah, through some guidance from RICS PPT they have shared, and also they have conducted a mock last day only 2 days back on 15th. So Ms. Ravneet Kaur has been explained the process of final assessment interview,
Okay.
the timing factors. Yes.
Yeah. So actually, say the moment you get into the panel, you will have a brief introduction of the panel members. There will be three people panel usually. Maybe sometimes emergency there will be two people only.
Okay.
One person will be heading the panel. He is a chairman. He will introduce himself and introduce the team. Then he will have a 360-degree look of your place where you are sitting. It is just to basically understand whether you are having any people who are prompting you to some answers and other things besides, or you are keeping anything, notes and other things to refer. It is just to check that only. There is nothing else. You have to show that, and then you will be allowed for 10 minutes of your presentation, which is basically on the case study. So then there will be a questioning 10 minutes on the case study, and then further questioning on the competency part. And lastly, it will be on the mandatory competencies, basically ethics and related questions. And if you want to say something, you will be allowed for last couple of minutes, except the result part. Okay. Result they will not tell you on the space. It will be conveyed to you by RICS staff. The panel will not be involved in the result part. There may be some interviews there. They will have auditor. It's not to audit the interviewer. It is to audit the interview process.
Okay.
Audit the panel basically. So okay. Sometimes what happens is not just three people, but you will be seeing around 5 people on the team link.
Okay. Okay.
So you will suddenly you will get only 3 people. They said now there are 5 people. You don't think that way, because one will be RICS coordinator, who will be always on mute.
Okay.
And the other person will be the auditor, likely sometimes. Okay. He will be also mute. He will not discuss anything with the candidate. He post interview, he will give his comments to the panel. Not candidate will not be there in that process. Okay. Okay. But okay. While actual interview process is on, you may be seeing around 5 people on the participant list. Okay. So don't get distracted from that 5 people. It is only 3 people will be involved in the interview process. Okay. So this is the basic process. And now the presentation is strictly 10 minutes. If you are exceeding 10 minutes, then your time management will be questioned. It is not a major disadvantage, but yes, it is slightly disadvantage as well. Okay. So time management is also important. See, what do you feel? What is the idea of this professional assessment process that is online? Online, or earlier it used to happen physically, and now because now post COVID they changed, because it is easy now, because you can sit at any corner of the world and you can interview people. What do you feel? Means why this process has started? Any idea?
Sir, I think this process has started because to check whether the person who is sharing their competencies, or who are submitting their submissions, they are actually correct or not, or whether that person has the importance, or whether this person has that competency, reach the level of competency level as per suggestion, they can give the suggestion or not. So to check those things, and also to have the records, because to have the records to the system. That's why they have this competency check, or the assessments.
Yeah, you're right. Basically, it is to understand whether how his personal professional behavior is, whether physically what he writes. Many people writes very good on paper, but when you discuss one-to-one physically, they will be lacking a lot of knowledge. So that gives a clear-cut this thing, whether his writing is his own or it is a borrowed one. So these are some of the tricks to check whether the person has physically undergone the process or not. Plus, try to understand his vocabulary, how he is conveying his expressions, his ideas to the people, whether he can communicate professionally or not, whether he will be able to do the time management accordingly. All these things, it is overall involve what you call capacity of the person. It is viewed. It is not just the professional competency alone. In terms of his behavioral aspects as also, it is being viewed. Whether he can speak confidently with 2, 3 people or not. All these things are checked. That is the basic idea. Okay. Now your time starts for presentation. If you are prepared, you can go ahead.
Okay, sir. My case study is about commercial decision making for crashing of schedule for a real estate developer. In this case study, a total 4 number of projects are considered as a single project, and these projects are located in the region of Pune. And here, for this case study, I have termed these projects as Project A, Project B, Project C, and Project D. Project A is a residential building project with 3 building units, and Project B is also a residential building project with 2 building units. Project C and Project D are commercial building project with single building units. As per the initial budget, the execution cost was 866 crore. And as per the initial schedule, the total timeline for all these 4 projects was 8 years. I have involved in this project as a cost consultant, and I was involved from the conception phase to pre-construction stage. And my responsibilities was to support the client in commercial decision making, which would speed up the timeline. And secondly, finding some solution that may significantly reduce the budget. And apart from this too, I was also advising on cost plans. Let me take you through the background of the key issues. My developer had the experience of developing in the region of Kolkata. Basically, the developer is Kolkata-based developer, and they were very new to the region of Pune. That's why a lengthy construction period was not giving them enough confidence to start the project. And also, they were not satisfied with the payback period. That's why they wanted to perform a crashing of schedule and optimize the timeline. And secondly, client was not happy with the budget. That's why they were also looking for some viable solution that can reduce the significant budget. As a cost consultant, my first approach was to find out high-priced components. I found out reinforcement work, concreting work, electrical work, IT works was in this list. And my second approach was to find out the schedule and the critical path. And the third approach was to find the long lead items, the items which need more procurement time. And the fourth approach was understanding the procurement routes of the past projects. My first suggestion was based on the procurement route. I observed in the past projects, clients has adopted traditional procurement route. But in this case, as the client was new to the region of Pune, that's why I suggested to appoint a management contractor who would have experience to deliver successfully in that particular region. And the client can transfer the contractual risks to the management contractor. And even the client can have a control over the schedule contractually. To do that, we have performed tendering work, and we have taken the bid price of the management contractors. And in that tendering work, we have mandated to submit their revised schedule as per desired by the client, as per desired timeline of the client. This suggestion was not feasible because the bidding price was high and it was increased the budget by 24 to 32%. And clients said the building design was not too complex and the volume of individual units was not high. That's why they do not wanted to increase the budget only by appointing a management contractor. My second approach was based on the critical path. I observed in the critical path, structural work was the major thing. That's a major activity. That's why I suggested my client to use aluminum shuttering work instead of conventional shuttering work. So use of aluminum shuttering reduce the slab cycle. So I suggest to procure two set of shuttering work, which will enable to start two projects at the same time, at the same year. And also this procured aluminum formwork will be helpful to reduce in the upcoming projects if they have. The scheduling team has accepted my concept, and they have prepared a revised schedule in which we have observed the slab cycle was reduced from 25 days to 12 days. And even the overall timeline of the project was reduced from 8 years to 6 years. But this suggestion was also not feasible because client said they were not sure of their upcoming projects, what of the projects they are going to be construct, or what type the whether they are coming with the more projects or not. That's why there will be very less scope of repetition of the aluminum shuttering work, and they do not want it to lock their capital. And only procuring aluminum formwork for these four projects will be very high priced, and no, it will increase the price by 57 to 59% of the budget. So they do not want it to perform this suggestion. My third suggestion was based on the alternative findings for the high priced component and long lead items. I observed in the high price component there was an activity like concreting. For concreting work, it was also in the critical path. So I advised my client to start all four projects at the same year. In that case, the cash outflow at the initial year will be high. To support the initial cash flow, I have performed an analysis of renting versus owning of batching plant. Owning of batching plan resulted in 14 crore of cost savings, which give enough confidence to the client to start all the four projects at the same year. Nextly, I found out there was long lead components at the IT packages or like electrical works, which was increasing the end timeline. So I advise the client to change in makes or to procure locally available materials, which will be lesser in cost and lesser in procuring timeline, but will be having the same features or same value. In such items, there was a bowling alley for the gaming zone, which was supposed to be procured from South Africa. That was decided to be procured from locally suppliers. And also there was electrical item like bus duct, which was supposed to be procured from Europe. But same make, I suggested to procure it from the China. Same make, so features will be same. And in the similar way, stone cladding work and decorative items like decorative cornice was replaced by alternative materials. Altogether, these alternative materials was resulted in cost savings of 39 crore and the time saving of 2 years. So total timeline was reduced from 8 years to 6 years. The client was very happy with the reduced cost and timeline, and they have accepted this suggestion. To implement my suggestion number 3, I have performed the volume of concrete. I estimated the volume of concrete using parametric estimate method, and through construction schedule, I have forecasted the tentative yearly and monthly demand of concrete. And thus I have arrived the capacity of the batching plant. With the help of quality engineering team, I set the specification and the concrete design mix, and calculated the unit rate of concrete and compared with the market price of the RMC. And for other packages, a brainstorming session was performed with the relevant team members. We have visited to the factories and also prepared the mock-ups to see the accuracy of the alternatives. And a cost comparison was prepared and delivered to the client. And finally, they have accepted the suggestions. And furthermore, to recheck the viability of the project, we have compared the parameters with the help of finance team and marketing team, where we have checked the payback period reduced from 3 years to 2 years, and the net present value and internal rate of return were increased. Through this project, I have achieved the concept of break-even payback period, understood the critical path, understood the construction technology and material, and acquired more understanding of client's cash flow. To conclude the session, I must say my key takeaways for the future projects. I understood number one, identifying the client's needs is more important in order to provide a better solution, the right solution or effective solution. Number two is commercial decision making are generally good at the early stage, and it brings accuracy to the estimates. And number three is the alternative of construction technology and value engineering must be considered. And number four is risk sharing and risk transferring should be considered. Thank you.
So the presentation was good. Just want to add one thing.
Yes.
See, there is not much of a difference from your submission document and the presentation.
Okay.
It is almost means whatever you have given in your submission document, the same graphs you have utilized, you have done the presentation. If you are able to give something additional value, so don't tell much about the submission, talk more about that additional entity. Like, for example, you said you have worked out the batching plant and capacity.
Yes.
So try to explain that what was the quantity of concrete,
Okay.
how monthly, how much average it was coming. And you should also be able to tell them that unless otherwise, this is the minimum requirement per month. The commercial batching plants are cheaper. The site based is not. So our requirement was much more than what it is the minimum break quantity, and that is why you decided. Like that, you have to add those things. Because as per your analysis, what is the break even quantity for a site based batching plant and the commercial batching plant quantity? Means up to what quantum the site based is not cheaper, it is still expensive, and particular quantity it break evens, and furthermore, it is a profitable one. This is my question to you.
Sorry, sir. I didn't. Sorry, very sorry.
As per your analysis,
Yes.
you have done the analysis, correct? Batching plant.
Yes.
Site based
Yes,
batching plant is economical than the commercial one. What should be the minimum quantity monthly supply from the site based plant? Then it works cheaper.
Monthly supply. It was 3,783 near to 3,783 cubic meter monthly supply. So we have designed the plant for 30 cubic meter per hour, so that it can produce the concrete for 30 cubic meter per hour.
See, 3,700 is your requirement, correct?
Yes. It can produce more than that.
No. That is correct. That is not your required. But what I'm telling is, for example, if it is 3,780, if it is you are saving 14 crores from that.
Yes.
I'm not going to buy it.
Yes.
What is the minimum break-even quantity for a site-based batching plant to be in comparison with the commercial plant? Means both are equal in terms of cost. Whether you buy it from commercial plant, whether you produce from a site-based batching plant, this cost remains same. If the quantity is with this, if the quantity is less, the commercial is cheaper. If the quantity is more, the site one is. You understood what my question now?
Okay. That I arrived the cost. I'm more focused on the cost part, but this production part I didn't. I go within this way, like for quantity required and this much of concrete if required, then per cubic meter of concrete unit rate, how it will be the price of procuring the cost from the market. So I went in that way. My analysis was on that way.
No, see, the majority of the people do that in terms of cost alone. Okay.
Okay.
That is not the right comparison.
Acha. Okay,
see,
sir.
you are not a pure accountant. You are a techno-commercial accountant. Okay.
Okay.
You are more into the technical, but you know little bit of the commercial practice.
Correct,
So
sir.
you are combining that. So your technical expertise should come in here.
Sir, should I address it now? Should I check my analysis again and be ready with these answers for that?
Yeah, that is
Okay,
better.
sir.
That will give a value addition to your explanation.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You can cut short other explanations a little bit about your aluminum formwork
Okay, sir.
and the earlier one. The first one,
Yes,
first option
procurement
is
route.
the
Procurement
first one
route.
is yeah. So those things you can cut short explanation a bit because the finally agreed one is what you have suggested. That is your establishing a batching plant at site.
Yes.
How it was means uh, economical and how it saved the 21 months. That is very important because you said if you see your graph in the original graph you showed tower A at a particular period.
Hmm.
Then others have started much delayed. But when you in the final suggested one, your graph with certain gap, every project starts.
Yes.
So that you have to explain. In the graph, you said it is 21 months is the time crashed, and now so we are able to complete within 6 months, correct? But
Yes.
your explanation is not giving that 21 months from where it is coming.
Okay, sir.
It shows on paper, but the explanation is not there.
Okay, sir.
See, by doing this value engineering and site-based patching plant, you are saving the cost commercially. But saving 21 months duration is something to do with the quantity of execution, correct?
Okay. Okay, sir. And
Two
sir,
th-
my suggestion was this because having a own batching plan has its benefits. They will be having their own flexibility to procure as much as quantity, and whenever they procure, the procurement timing was less even. So that's why I thought.
So actually, see what happens. I will tell you. The procurement timing was it will not differ that much. Yes, in
Okay.
cities sometimes because of the traffic jam and other things, sometimes
Yes.
suffers, but not regularly because nowadays majority people operates with a commercial batching plant.
Okay.
You once you establish the batching plant at your site, there are other things also to look into it. For example, you should have a in-house expert
Okay.
for quality control of the concrete.
Yes.
It is not just the quality assurance or post placement of the concrete. It is production of concrete is also very important.
Yes, sir.
So you should have that technology in-house, or you should be able to produce that person full time for the site.
Okay, sir.
You cannot depend on a third party.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is one of the reason majority of the people, though it is little bit expensive, they will go for commercial, even the quantity is high because they don't want to get into an area where they are not experts.
Yes, sir.
See, like we, as an RICS, one of the rules says what it is. It is one of the rules, no, in your ethics.
Yes, yes. It's
Hmm.
a three rules. Rule number 3,
So,
providing good quality service.
good quality service. When you say that in terms of your ethical practices, but at the same time, if you are not looking into it, it becomes not professionally correct.
Correct, sir.
So that is one area. One. Second one is the initial establishment of the batching plant. If you are buying a new one, itself is a cost.
Yes,
In the
yes,
final analysis, yes, you are saving, but initially you have to spend.
yes, yes,
That
sir.
come your initially your cash flow will be more correct.
Yes, yes,
So even you have all pre-fund your activities of other projects like B, C and D, B, C, D, correct? Earlier you were starting bit delayed, but you have pre-fund those start
Hmm.
means you have started
Yes,
earlier.
yes,
Why you are able to start earlier? What is that reason? That also should
yes.
be. These are the two key points you should make it in your presentation and you should explain it. This is
Okay,
my
sir. Okay, sir. I'll add
uh,
it. I have it written in in case study. I will add it in all in the
Yeah,
slides.
because what happens is other things are they are because once you give your submission, we will go through before assessment, so we know what is your case study. If we are not finding anything different from the uh, case study submission, then it is as good as reading only with your personal presentation what you are telling that we have to listen. So there is no value addition. So this is what you can add the value. That is what I feel.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay, and then that is my question is case study. Why the two rejected options? The early start was not considered for B, C, D. That is why I asked the question that you have to make an answer for that.
First two
That you
questions.
that you can add it as your presentation itself.
Okay. In first suggestion, the actually the initial days. Okay. So in first, so can I?
If you see your graph, the
Yes.
first project started from the start, zero date, correct?
Yes. And this one, sir.
Uh, then there is a gap of how many days?
21 days.
21 months, sorry.
21 month. 21 month.
Uh, why that starting delay?
Okay. Because of the budget, they if they start this project, all three projects or all four projects together, then initial cash flow will be high.
No, that is what you have to capture and you have to tell.
Okay. Okay.
In
Okay.
your analysis, how this 21 months initial start of the other three projects pre-phoned. That is because if we had started all the three projects at the same time, this was going to be the cash flow, initial cash flow requirement from the client side. Why? That is the reason the three projects were shifted. But by establishing the site-based branching plant, we could be able to avoid that cash flow, initial cash flow. That how you can avoid that you explain. That is more than enough, I think.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And little bit about the batching plant capacity.
Okay. Okay.
Now, my second question is to you that you have to, one you are adding now. Just answer to me how the see you said the cash flow, correct?
Hmm.
Batching plant you are saving only 14 crores,
Hmm.
but how you can prepone all the activities to that much and you can save 21 months
Sir, for
in
that.
terms of cash flow, how it is getting.
Yes, yes, sir. So in terms of cash flow, it will increase if we start the projects all together. Then inflows will be also high because the inflows are on the basis of milestone payments. So in that terms, the payback.
No, yeah, just I want to interrupt. In that case, what you should do is to show the cash flow. This is the monthly cash flow,
Okay.
cash outflow for the client. You got it? For the we see for the client, it is he has to pay to the contractors, correct?
Yes.
To pay to the contractor, he should have the income.
Yes.
So from the income means how he is getting his incomes,
Okay. So payment milestone I have to show.
not payment milestone. See, for the client, it may be selling, correct? On booking this much, first floor
Yes.
this much, second floor this
Yes.
much.
Yes.
So that you should be able to give the flow chart somewhere.
Okay, this is what I'm telling. Payment milestone for clients. The
Yeah,
clients inflow payment milestone
yeah.
that I have to
So
include.
that
Okay, sir.
once you show that, then you know monthly cash flow. Then what is the cash outflow?
Okay, sir.
You the cash inflow, cash outflow. You put a line which is the starting date for project A. If I start all the projects, this is going to be the cash flow. If I start by this date, this is the cash flow. How it equates. That will give
Okay,
them more clarity how you can save that 21 months.
okay, sir. Definitely, I will do this.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
See, now you said the key advantages of the batching plant established at site. Can I know what are the advantages?
Yes, there will be flexibility of time, and also there will the costs cost savings is low, and also there will be flexibility of time and procurement time, and all flexibility on like for the number of quantities, and also they can repeat, they can use this plan for their next projects even. And even they sell off with commercial aspect. There will be, if we consider life cycle costing, even they sell off or dispose this cost, they will having a what's it called, disposal cost. Any any plant, if they dispose, they will also have a price.
Yeah, that's okay. That is all understood. That is a buyback option is available. That is all correct.
Yes.
But to be frank with you, even the regular batching plants people,
Mm.
for example, companies like L&T, actually they dwell with the batching plant, their own batching plant at site level.
Okay.
Now they are thinking of offloading it to people for on higher basis.
Okay. Okay.
See, because more and more commercial batching plants are available now, and there is a
Yes.
competition. So, if you say this site-based batching plant is going to be, means, yes, I understand any quantum is easy to supply, but
Yes.
even from the outside batching plant, you can negotiate in such a way when you have bulk quantity up to 0.5 cubic meter.
Okay.
This we have done in the year 2000, not now. I am
Okay.
talking about 20 years back.
Okay.
That time the batching plant, commercial batching plants were very few.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, even 0.5 you can negotiate with them. And I'm not talking about this high quantum work.
So we can also talk about quality, right? Because as you have mentioned already, quality team, in-house quality team will be there to production. So always quality work, quality of production will be maintained.
So that is when you have to say in-house production team, then you should mention somewhere that the client had the in-house quality.
Yes. Okay, sir.
If
I'll
they
mention.
don't have, they have to hire. The moment
Yes.
it's hired, there is no guarantee.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. One of the slides I have mentioned that with the help of quality engineering department, because we were having in-house quality engineering department, they have only suggested the specification and the model of the batching plant. Even they have established with the establishment of batching plant, they also established the laboratory to test the concrete. They had their in-house team, in-house experts team.
Yeah, because you have to have. Otherwise, it is difficult to manage the quality of the concrete because especially at present, the material that's available, aggregates and sand, that quality is not so good. So based on that, you have to modify your design mix every now and then.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And whenever you make a design mix change, you have to test it in the outside lab. So it is not so easy to maintain the batching plant. That is why people are going for a specialized agencies. Okay.
Okay.
You should be able to tell the advantages. Like one is, since our requirement monthly basis were much more, so reliability from the outside batching plant was less because of the local traffic regulations, the rush peak hour traffics, and the quantum of work involved. All these things you have to mention.
Correct.
So which restricts mainly the work at night, because only during night you will have free traffic.
Yes. Yes.
And working at night is going to affect your construction quality.
Correct.
And other labor related issues.
Okay.
And then you can have, for example, when you are ready with the pour, you can easily get the concrete at the same time if it is have the site based one. If it is a commercial batting plant, you have to wait sometimes because of the traffic, or because if he is having a bigger pour in some side somewhere else, then he will say, sir, you have to wait for a day or so. So that delays certain activities. These are second advantage. Then when you have in-out expert quality, then quality control is in our hand, which we can then different grades is easy to make at site level, because commercial batting plant you have to rely on them, but you are not sure whether it is same grade, because they will produce the log sheet, but still there will be doubt always. These are some of the advantages you will be able to tell.
Okay.
What is the status of this project? I want to understand now.
The project has been started, but I am not involved anymore in that project. I was only involved up to pre-construction stage. So informally, I have informed that this project has been started.
Okay. See, because why I am telling you, you should have a information collected for the project from time to time to understand whether your idea goes in right way or not.
Yes, sir.
See, suppose your idea goes rightly, then whatever you thought it is working. If it is not, then where you have gone wrong. That will be a
Yes.
learning point for you. Whatever the way possible, if at all if it is possible to try to get information, try to collect it. What is the
Yes.
status and how it is going? How you work out the cash flow?
For class flow, I have considered the construction schedule, the activities I have got from the work breakdown structure, and I have the budgeted cost, and from where I know the cost baseline or cost limits of each activities. So with the help of the construction schedule, I have prepared the cash outflows of the monthly or and then yearly basis. And with the help of the payment milestone of the end users, which I have received from the marketing team, they have prepared their inflows based on their payment schedule or inflows. So I have compared inflow versus outflows. So I have got the S curve of cash flow.
Okay. See, then one important point I want to mention you is in your submission I have gone through. Okay. You have mentioned commercial management,
Yes, sir.
but majority of the activities which you have done is mainly with related to design economics and cost plan.
Yes, sir.
See, there is always a confusion between design economics and commercial management.
Okay, sir.
If you read correctly the RICS pathway guideline, it gives what are the elements, means your job profile relates to corresponding competency. Commercial management, where they call it is here, that is why they have written also, if you see, people working with consultant backgrounds will try to take design economics and cost planning. People working with contractors are trying to go with commercial management. Because commercial management is purely a post contract activity.
Yes.
Value engineering and other things, what you are doing in your tendering time or budget initial time, this is just playing with numbers on paper. It is not actually materialized. So try to avoid using that word commercial management in your case study also when you are explaining.
Okay, sir.
It is more into the design economics and cost plans. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, actually, can I say something on this? As per my understanding, you can correct me as well. Like I have already mentioned the name commercial in the case study, right? So is it? Can I change it? Like I cannot change it, right? So I have to go with this
No,
name.
no,
Firstly,
that is fine. That is fine. See, because not only you, I will tell you around 80% of the assessors also of the same idea.
okay.
They are mismatching the commercial management and design economics.
Yes, because I think in RIC is not, I'm sure of that, because in commercial management, I went through the RIC's guideline. There is also written commercial managers are also involved from the strategic phase. From the strategic phase, and it is overall, it is increasing the value engineering and the profitability. As I have, no, I have seen the, I have, no, overall profitability aspect or overall commercial aspects, which was like I was talking about net present value and IRR. So that's why I thought value engineering is a part of commercial management, and I just put that name. So how I can avoid this name right now, if they mention?
No, the people can use it still as a commercial part of the value
Okay.
engineering as a part of the commercial management is fine. Why I
Yes.
am telling you is this is actually the reality, means actual
Okay.
requirement as per the RICS intent.
Okay, sir.
If you go,
Okay.
commercial management is purely post. If you see the total six competencies are there, correct?
Yes. Yes.
One is contract practice, commercial
Hmm.
management, construction technology, and project finance, quantification and costing, the pre-tendering and procurement. In this tendering procurement, quantification and cost, plus your construction technology. Construction technology is purely post contracts. You can relate it with design economics also to
Okay.
certain extent, where you do the different comparison of structures and other things. That is possible both during construction or of the construction as well. But
Okay.
whereas the commercial management project finance is just a control and reporting. It is
Correct,
not
sir.
actual finance. Okay.
Correct.
Plus contract practice. These are purely post contract activities.
Okay, sir.
So that is a thin line which many people don't understand. I just wanted to highlight. This is what I noticed in your submission. That is what I'm just putting it to you.
Okay. Is it okay, sir, if my concern is if I mention commercial, I have already mentioned it. So is it okay if I go with this term now, or?
I think it should be okay. You should not
Okay.
bother much about it because,
Okay.
as I said, people will take it. Why I'm telling you is, see, when we are assessing the people, we are not looking into 100% because nobody is 100% perfect. Even sometimes, because you people are coming at this age, and some people sometimes we have to learn from you something because we have a history of 35 years, but you have started now because you are introduced to the modern technology which we are not aware of. So there will be something to learn from you people as well. But this is the actual intent of the RICS pathway. Make Keep it in mind whenever you are
Okay.
using it. Use the same thing in future.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Sure, sure.
If somebody likes me, if they come and ask, then you can say yes, I understood. That's it.
Sir, then I would request you how to tell me how can I manage this question? How can I manage this question? Like if somebody asks me in that way, then how I can manage this question?
See, you can say that since it is a involvement of value engineering, I use this as a commercial management. You can just put it
Okay,
that way.
sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
It was dealing with cost.
Okay.
Why I asked this question, what is the status of this project is, see, RICS also clearly says that the case study should be based on the completed work.
Yes. Okay.
Otherwise,
Completed presence. Okay. Okay.
it
Okay.
should be fun. That is why they have given for 24 months previous duration.
Correct. 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 But
Example,
project is completed from my end, right? Because my involvement was at up to the project pre-construction phase. So from my prospect, like as I was a part of the cost consultant, our work is over contractually. That's why I considered this project.
no, for your case study, it is absolutely no
Okay.
issue. Yes, as far as
Okay.
you it is completed, I understand. But
Okay.
why I asked is, see, because you have mentioned one is that is a 14 crore savings in the batching plant,
Yes.
and you mentioned some other value engineering items,
Yes.
and you have shown that there is a net saving in the overall cost compared to the budgeted.
Yes.
Whether it is materialized anything or not, how you know? If everything goes reverse,
Yes. Yes. We have to monitor it.
you have
And
to monitor it. One, and that is an experience. Second thing is, whatever you do, the value engineering and other things at the pre-construction stage, there is no guarantee that it will be carried out in the post-construction.
Correct. Correct.
Pre-construction is more of a management approval process
Correct. Correct.
than the actual reality.
Correct. Correct.
Management do have certain restrictions, so they perform all these exercises and they get the paper approved to move the project ahead.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So reality, they know there will be something different than we will look into it that time. That it goes that way.
Correct. Correct.
Why I am telling you with my experience is many of the value engineering what we work on paper, it goes exactly opposite at site when it is executed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So it is it remains a value engineering on paper, but actually it is different.
Correct. Correct.
Neither there is value addition in terms of technical input or time or whatever is that, nor there is a cost saving.
Okay.
Value engineering, another issue is in India, we have a concept that value engineering means only cost reduction.
Yes. Yes. True.
It is not. Value engineering means actually it is a cost value addition. It may be with higher cost also.
Yes.
Or it may, see, for example, you have two different mobile phones, correct?
Correct.
Say one is procured from China, the China made, and the other one is Apple. Both are mobile phones only. In this case, what happens is cost saving is also there, but value addition is also there. Because you are giving a better product, which have a longer life, which have better features, which have more reliability. Whereas the other product is use and throw type, you never know. Yes, it is cheaper. Functional requirement it will fulfill, but there is no long life. But in the other side, in sometimes say, let us say, you bring two similar items and you say this is cheaper because of so and so reason. But in terms of performance, it is a total flop. Then what we do? Especially it goes with the mechanical equipments and other things, wherein people sell cheaper projects, cheaper items, but at the end of the day, the operational cost goes up.
Yes. It happens.
So there is no value addition in that case.
Mm.
Okay, I'm coming to your tech core competencies. This
Okay, sir.
I have taken a little bit of more time. This much time nobody will discuss. By this time it should have
Yes,
been
sir.
over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since it is a mock interview, I have just taken time.
Yes.
Coming to construction technology,
Mm.
you said you have used a self-compacting concrete.
Yes.
What do you mean by self-compacting concrete?
Self-compacting concrete has a property of workability, high workability, because it no vibrator is required for that. It can make its own place, and generally for increasing the this workability, the chemicals are and mixtures are used for that to increase the workability of the concrete.
How is in terms of cost?
In terms of cost, it is high. Then higher cost in terms of normal concrete.
Okay. What is the advantage over and above?
Advantage is casting time is less, and it can be used in like I have used in monolithic construction. Like you can cast this in slab and wall together. So, and it's a monolithic, means same type of design. So it will be helpful to reduce the cost, reduce the time of the casting. Casting time will be reduced.
What type of shoring piles you used?
What type of sodium? Seat piles, basically seat piles.
You know,
Aluminum seat.
do you know any other shoring pile used?
No,
Are you
sir.
aware?
We have no. I am not. I have used the iron steel piles and aluminum sheets were there.
Have you heard of anything called secant pile or soldier
Second
pile?
pile, yes. Second pile I heard of, but I'm not known much about it.
Soldier pile, have you heard of it?
No, I think it is with the help of bracing. bracing and eye sections are used in this, and hydraulic. Okay, I'm not aware.
No eye sections are used. It is hydraulic rig. That is correct. But see, it is pile placed one after the other.
Yes. Okay.
It means let us say it is a 500 dia pile. 500 dia pile touching another 500, another 500 like that. So it is like the if you stand in a border, how the soldiers are standing in a border, one after the other, correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That is why it is called soldier piles or a secant pile, because it is overlapping the other pile.
Okay.
What are the type of foundations you are aware?
Foundations are generally pile foundations for deep foundations, and then straight foundations, and then step foundations. These are the foundations I'm aware of. Generally, in Kolkata region, we prepare pile foundation.
A pile is one, deep spread foundation is another one. Any other foundation you are aware?
Well foundation is there for bridge. Well foundation
okay.
is there.
That is for bridges. Okay.
Yes.
Have you heard of anything called raft foundation?
Yes, raft foundation.
How you decide the type of foundation?
Sorry, sir. How I decide?
The type of foundation.
Yeah, basically it is depending on the soil capacity, whether the soil is loose or the soil, the water content ratio of the soil. So depending on, and the load to be construct of the construction. So it is decides.
Where you will get the soil condition?
Soil test is done by third parties, where all the characteristics of the soils are mentioned.
Okay. Coming to the contract practice, what are the different form of contract you are aware of?
There is a remeasurable contract, lump sum contract, cost plus contract, guaranteed maximum price contract, incentive contract.
What are the different procurement routes you are aware?
Different procurement route is a traditional procurement route.
What is traditional procurement?
Traditional procurement route is it's similar to bid build concept, where client have their consultants and their contractors, and also client fully develop their designs, and then they hire the contractors one by one, and they directly have the contractual relationship with the contractors.
How it differs with the other the earlier one you said?
Okay, so it will be from I have mentioned that.
For example, you said remeasurable, correct? You said remeasurable contract.
Contracts. So, sir, you have asked about procurement route, traditional procurement.
Why I am there is a connection. I will tell you why it is.
Okay.
How it is different. First you tell me.
How it is different from.
See, you said one is remeasurable, correct?
Yes.
Type of contract. You said that when I say for a different procurement route, you said where the employer designs and the contractor builds.
Yes. Yes.
There, what will you have? What type of contract will you have in that?
It can be remeasurable. It can be lump sum even contracts.
So it means what you understood as type of contract is not type of contract. It's a type of procurement.
Procurement route. Yes.
So your understanding of the competency is wrong. That is what I mean to tell.
Okay.
When people ask what type of contract, it is a form of contract. Like whether you have used FIDIC, you used NEC, JTC.
Okay.
Or it is more specification, CPWD specification, railways, or West Bengal PWD, or Kolkata Municipal, or maybe bespoke.
Okay. Okay.
That is called type of contract. It is basically form of contract. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
This is another one which in your submission, what I noticed. If you see your submission, you go back and now you analyze, you will understand that you have written same thing, but it is slightly different. Like, for example, they say, oh, sometimes they say the relation, correct? We see. So he will say he's my in-law. The other person will say, no, he's my daughter's husband.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Huh?
Okay, sir.
So it is the same way what you have written. You just go and check.
Yes, sir.
This you have to clarify yourself. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Definitely there will be a question on this. You keep the answer ready for
Okay,
answering.
sir.
Return
Okay,
submission
sir.
is fine.
Okay.
Just I wanted to understand one more thing. Uh,
Okay, sir.
from you don't have preliminary review for your submission.
No, sir. For structural training route, we directly have final assessment.
Why I said this, because if you had the preliminary review, it would have been corrected there. What is the difference between LOA and LOI?
LOI is letter of intent and LOA is letter of acceptance. LOI is generally given when the actual contract is not ready, and the site mobilization should be expedited. That's why client provide LOI to the contractor, whereas LOA is acceptance of those contract or based on the terms they have decided.
What is the main difference?
Main difference. LOI client provides they offer the job, they gives the offer, and in acceptance the contractor accept the terms and accept the scope of work.
Even LOI also can be scope can be mentioned or it can be defined. Okay.
Okay.
The basic difference between LOI and LOA is LOI is not binding. LOI cannot be enforced.
Yes.
LOA is binding.
Okay. Okay, sir.
That is a major difference. LOI can be also binding provided the conditions are specified specifically. But in general, LOI is not binding. LOI is just an intent. Okay. See, LOI is like an offer letter, as you said. You can join or not join.
Okay.
I'm just making the offer. These are the conditions. If you want to join, you join. You may say on the date of joining, you may say, I don't want. That is how it is. Only thing is, LOI, what happens is, many client will do it to save time. They will ask you to go ahead with the design and estimates, whatever is that. Then if final analysis, if it doesn't work, then they can continue with the other contract. That is the only thing.
Okay, sir.
What is liquidated damages?
Liquidity damage is charged on the for delay happened, and it says 0.05%. It depends on the contract, how it is mentioned in the contract, the damage charges or fees. Generally, in our in the projects where I have checked, it is generally varies from 0.05% of per week of delay, and it could be up to maximum 2.5% of the total contract value.
Okay. Contents of the contract document, can you tell me?
Content of the contract documents is firstly the scope of work, and then the price of the contract sum, and the general terms of conditions and special terms of conditions. And the project names, project specifications should be there, and the parties involved.
Can you just repeat?
Project name, project details should be there.
Have you gone through the contract document?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you identify the index?
Index. Yes. Index
Index.
are there.
See, once you open the document, there is an index page.
Yes.
What are the contents of that? I'm expecting that. I'm not expecting in detailed clauses and everything. Like the first one is what, the second one is what, the third one is what, the fourth one
Okay,
is what.
order. sequence.
So order is okay here and there, little bit. I understand that, but you should be able to identify at least 5, 6 items.
Okay, okay, okay. Sir, I think I have mentioned, sir, there will be project name, project details, contract sum will be there, timeline will be there, then scope of work will be
See,
there.
these are, for example, timeline, project name, and this is all part of particular document. Like you say, contract agreement. Contract document, the first one is contract agreement. Okay, then goes the general conditions of contract. Then comes the special conditions of or particular conditions of contract. Then comes your uh, technical drawings, technical specification.
Yes.
Then comes your health and safety manuals. Then the BOQ, the preambles. BOQ preambles is part of the BOQ itself. Then tender document. Then tender correspondences. All these things comes. This is what you should be able to identify. These are the minimum things in a
Okay.
contract. When I say content, see why this is asked. I will tell you. The idea is the moment I ask these questions, if you are able to identify the line items here and there, and in not in order but major items, I understand. Yes, you have gone through the document. The moment you are not able to understand, go beyond certain lines, and then it is very clear that you have not extensively worked on it. You have worked on certain points. You know certain conditions specifically. As a document, you don't know.
Okay, sir. In our my experience, what I only had prepared short form of contracts. How you have as I've already mentioned, the developer had not a huge contractors or like who are very much organized contractor like L&T. So these are like more mediocre contractors, and we used to provide the short form of contract. So
No, that is correct. That is understood. That is very well understood. You might have executed short form, but see, with practical experience, you should also enhance your theoretical knowledge
yes,
by
yes,
reading different types, by going through the different form of
correct,
contract and understand. You can say to me that I have done the short form, but in the panel you cannot.
correct, sir, correct, sir.
Okay.
Correct, sir.
What is contractual amendment? According to you?
What is contractual amendment?
Amendment. Yeah.
Amendments are basically done when there is a variation in scope or quantity or timeline. So generally, it happens to variation. Either the variation mostly it happens through the client side. They if the design changes or quantity changes, and they introduce the variation notice, notify the contractor, and they extend or change, make the amendments.
See, that is actually not a contractual amendment. That's a contractual procedure.
Okay.
Because in the contract, the variation procedure is already mentioned, defined. Based on that, whenever there is a change, that process will be applied and it is taken. That is a contractual process. Contractual amendment is basically any modification in the existing conditions, if required, or it is forcefully it is required, means some party is forcing because otherwise it is not working for the project. Then you are making the original conditions, you are amending it
Okay.
based on the site condition. Let us say you have originally only 5% as a performance guarantee.
Yes.
But as the contractor start progressing, you found somewhere that his quality is lacking somewhere or some other issue. You feel that performance guarantee I have to enhance or I have to withhold some money. Then you put a discussion and you have to increase. You say I'm increasing by 2.5%. If you improve, then I will release subsequently. But if you are not improving, then it is going to be 2.5% additional. It is 7.5%.
Okay,
Like
sir.
that. Like otherwise, some payment related, retention related, that you make amendments. That is called amendment. Okay. Amendment is nothing but a modification of the original condition.
Okay, okay, okay.
Variation, change orders, These are all
It's not that.
contractual process.
Got it. But
Yes,
first we
by
have to
doing
acknowledge
the
facts.
variation, you are changing the contract sum. It is an amendment. It is absolutely, it is also an amendment of contract. But that is during the process, it automatically on its own it happens. Because you are following the contractual procedure, the contract sum changes.
Yes.
In a remeasurable contract, whenever there is a reduction or increase in quantity, automatically the value increases, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So that is a contractual process. You are not making any amendment in that. We are following the process.
Okay. 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 Technically, it might be I am wrong, but in our organization, they used to say we have to amend the quantity. So I thought it's an amendment. I may be wrong in that sense.
No, no, no. Amendment is all. It is not. It is a revise. See, there is a provision in the contract itself. If you say contract sum, what is the revised
Okay.
contract sum?
Yes.
That is a contractual process. It is identified. So far, you are following those conditions. You are in the process.
Okay.
In the process, there will be certain changes.
Okay.
But if you are making any conditional change in the process itself,
Okay. 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 Okay, sir.
like for example, without a written agreement, the revised contract sum is not accepted. Then you have to have a change order. Means that you have to have a
Yes.
written conversion. So like that, you are making that original condition. Original condition has to be like how you see this government orders, correct? You have seen IS codes, correct?
Hmm.
What they do, I addition 99 edition, then they will say 2001 edition, 2015 edition. What it is? What do you mean by additions?
They revise some points. They add some extra information in there. They include
Yes,
maybe
they change certain
yes, some
conditions or they add
modifications.
something.
Yes.
This is nothing but an amendment.
Yes. Yes.
What is contractual amendment? Standard procedure is post award or pre award for variation. Any idea?
Post order and pre order.
What is this? Is what do you mean by post contract or pre contract? Are you aware?
Yes, sir.
Tell
In
me.
pre contract we
See,
have.
for example, pre contract activities, post contract activities. We talk.
Yes. Yes.
What is the starting point for post contract? What is the end point for pre contract? That also, if you tell more than enough.
Okay, sir. So, sir, pre contracts end before the tender documents paper LOI is given. Up to that, it is pre-construction, and when contractor gives the LOI and the actual contract documents is awarded, it starts construction starts from that point.
See, the date of award of contract is post contract from the date
Yes.
till the award. Whatever the activities happens, that is pre contract. Simple. The main line is award of contract.
Award of contract.
Either you say award of work or you say LOA. Don't LOI is not.
No, LOI.
Okay. Then coming to commercial management, that is we already discussed. What is value engineering?
Value engineering is increasing value of any functionality or could be throughout the project without increase with a lower cost or economic cost.
No, that concept, that is the wrong concept. That is what I said. Value engineering is not changing the functional requirements of any item or equipment or activity. Functionally, it should fulfill. For example, you are changing granite floor to vitrified floor. Functionally, it is both are floors, but you are changing from granite to vitrified because you want some cost saving.
Yes.
So in this thing, it is a cost reduction. Okay.
Yes.
But whereas in some places you may go the other way.
Yes.
There may be a cost addition, but you have some other advantages. So then that is also value engineering.
Then I can
But
define it as a ratio, sir. Like
it
cost.
is not a ratio. What you should say is value engineering is nothing but value engineering suggestion for different usage of different material,
Okay.
fulfilling the same functional requirement with value addition. Value addition may be in terms of cost, in terms of performance, or in terms of any other criteria.
Hmm.
See, for example, you may be saying, I cannot add any value, but I will give you additional DLP. That is also a value addition only, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
See, sometimes you say, sir, I cannot do anything in terms of cost. I cannot give you anything now, but I will give you 1 year extended maintenance.
Yes.
Just because you want to bring that product, that is also value addition, but 1 year extended maintenance only. It is up to the client to take a call, up to the concerned people to take the call. But these are not considered as exactly identical value engineering items in India. Actual definition of value engineering is it should fulfill the functional requirement. There should not be any change in the functional requirement, but there should be a value addition.
Yes.
Normally, it is considered as value reduction, which is the general concept. That is not the right concept. What is site preliminaries?
Site preliminaries are some additional work or minor works, ancillary works that is required to to the main work.
Can you identify some line
Yes,
items or
yes.
whatever?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, preliminaries or some site works like if I'm working some DG work, if DG work, then if I see, yeah, we have to construct the foundation, small foundation of for that. So this small foundation would be a preliminaries. Site preparation can be a preliminaries.
So do you understand the direct and indirect cost?
Yes, sir.
What is direct cost?
Direct costs are LMP, labor, plant, and machineries. And indirect costs are site overheads, contingency risk, which are these are the
What is site overheads?
site overheads are generally site establishment, like site office, and also the staff, and also the small stationaries that requires to run and operate the site office.
Those are site preliminaries. So the terminology, if you go as per FIDIC, it is site preliminaries are nothing but your site overheads.
Okay.
Okay. When I say preliminaries, it is, see, the terminologies are not derived from me. It is all RICS guide terminologies.
Okay.
Because if you see the FIDIC, these are the terminologies used there.
Okay.
When you say site establishment, they will not understand. What is site establishment? They will say site office, temporary roads, barricade, security.
Okay. I have
There
to
are multiple.
particular in terms of site
You have to
establishment.
have all those heads. You should be able to identify what when the moment I say site preliminaries, you should be able to identify for site office, labor camp, temporary roads, temporary barricade, security, then staff cost, then DG, water, all these things
Yes.
comes into picture.
Yes.
Cost value reconciliation.
Cost value reconciliation is a tool for monitoring the cost of the project or project performance in terms of cost. And cost are like all the expenses, and values are all the incomes that receives. So it's the ratio between cost by value, uh, and if the value is higher than the cost, then that means the project is on under in budget, within the budget.
What is two-stage tendering? This is coming to procurement and tendering.
Yes, two-stage tenderings are basically when we check technical bids and financial bids. It happens in two stages. First, we take the financial bids. We check the capacity of the past of the contractors of the past projects, and then we check their technical bid afterwards. Like there will be two envelopes. Technical.
Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
We two-stage tendering. There will be two stage because there will be technical compatibility checks of their of the contractors, which will be after financial bid. Like financial envelope will be there. Okay.
in two-stage tendering, the first technical bid is opened.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, see, in public, what they do is they will ask both the bids to be both are to be submitted at different envelopes. That is in the government policy. But actual two, it is not two stage. It is a single stage, but multiple
Yes.
envelopes.
Okay.
Multiple envelopes. That is not two-stage tendering. That is a single stage only.
Yes.
Two-stage tendering is first you will ask to submit the technical bid. Means that technical documents related to the project, their understanding, project quality plan, schedule, all these things, plus our standard work method, procedures, all those things. That will be compared. It is like more of a pre-qual, one more round of filter. Once that technically you feel this contractor is okay, then even sometimes they will interview the key people also, whether they are technically capable or not. They will interview. Once that is done, then they will go for the commercial bid.
I have said in the financial is performed first, so it is actually done later stage after
Later.
technical. Yes.
See, for example, let us say financially some bidder has submitted L1.
Okay.
And the technical bid, if he fails, can you literally disqualify? Nobody will accept.
No. Yes. Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So it should be technically you have to qualify him first. Then you allow him to bid for commercial. Normal tendency is select the tender is L1 bidder, correct? So L1 bidder, if you disqualify in the later stage, giving some other reason, nobody will accept. It should be first, then later.
Okay.
Contents of the tender documents.
Contents of the tender documents are firstly the drawings, and then specifications, and drawing and specifications, and terms and conditions. Like even terms and conditions, there will be general terms and condition and special types of conditions, and project details will be there, and a probable timeline also will be there for.
See, the notice inviting tender is important, first one.
Okay.
Even if you see, even short form, whatever is there, even the developers, what they use, they will have
Notice.
their own style of notice inviting tender, which consists in many of their general conditions also.
Yes. Yes.
That is very important.
But in that case, then for selective tendering, also we have to give the
For everybody, you have to give.
Okay.
See, selective tendering is how it is, I will tell you. Nowadays, everything is almost selective tendering on. First, they will raise the expression of interest.
Yes.
They will write. So, for example, you want to go for a tendering, you will identify some 10 contractors. You will send the letter, expression
Yes.
of interest.
Expression of, this is what I was thinking. Like here, no notice is there. Notification is only
You will
for
just,
open bid, I thought.
no, it is not like that. You will just ask them
Okay.
whether they are interested or not.
Okay.
They are willing to participate, or they are pre-qualified or preoccupied, whatever is that. Okay. If they are showing their interest, then you will send the further documents like pre-qualification documents. Then the tendering, notice inviting tender and other things follows. So that is the process. So
Okay.
notice inviting tender is when you actually issue the tender, it will be there.
Okay, sir.
What are the contents of the notice inviting tender? Are you aware?
Notice inviting tender. No, sir.
See, notice inviting tender will give mainly the requirements of the tender, how to fill the tender, what are the guidelines, what is the time period, what is the submission date, when you can collect the tender document,
Okay.
where you have to submit, how you have to submit, what are the requirements of the submission. These things will be mentioned in that. Then pre-bid meeting importance and where it is conducted.
Pre-bid meetings are generally performed before the contract is finalized, and
Just
pre-bid meetings are done before the contractor submit their quotations. and it is done due to the clarifications. Contractor should have their clarification. They visit the sites and come up with their questionnaires, and they ask questions to the client what as per the site's situations, and as per the conditions that they had mentioned in the tender. So they try to make it clarified in pre-bid meetings so that they can include their price in the quotations.
What is management contracting?
Management contracting is a client appoint a main contractor who will be directly in the contractual relationship with the client, and who will be hiring the work packages contractor as per the work schedule. And in this case, no, the work packages contractor will not be directly in contractual contract with the client.
What is pre-tender estimate?
Pre-tender estimate. Pre-tender estimates are basically preliminary estimates, or we can say as per NRM 1, it is formal cost plan 3, where we have the design details, and we prepare the design estimates on the basis of specific details information available through before the pre-tender estimates means I didn't understand the. Can you reframe the questions? Like pre-tender estimates, the name you are asking, or what exactly?
See, I'm asking what is pre-tender estimate. Next, to make you more clear, when it is done.
Okay, when it is done, pre-tender estimates. Pre-tender estimates is done before tendering process, when to see the probable price of the bid price of the contractor, or to check.
Yeah.
If the contractor receives if the client receives the bid, they will client will have their own estimates to check or verify their bid price.
This slightly differ. Pre-tender estimate is ideally should be done after you issue the pre-bid clarifications. It should be done much before the receipt of the tender. Means you should think that you are also a bidder. If you are a bidder, what is going to be your price?
Yes, sir.
So that you will be
After
able to compare whether that is a competitive tender or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They call it as different shadow bid or something. They call it in the market. It is all market terminology. There is nothing called this thing, because people take whatever comes in the social media and that will pick it up and continue. What are the pre-qualification criteria for a tender?
In pre-qualification criteria, they generally take their financial capacity and past experience of the similar projects, or the projects that client want to build, or the similar projects, the volume of the projects, and their number of projects they have delivered. Or even they can also check the turnover of the contractor, financial turnover.
Anything else?
They can also check the staff capacity, the resources they have.
Then? And
their success rate of the delivery of the project on in terms of time and cost.
Then
their reputation of in the market. This is also I know.
See, you have to. It is very important to check their existing workload as well. If he is occupied fully, see, the moment you say the contractor's turnover is 300 crores, okay, his turnover wise he is well within that, but he has already a workload of around 500 crores.
Yes.
Will you still select him?
No.
Ideally, no, but yes, in conditions we will go with him, because he is ready to grab whatever the number of projects required, which is coming towards him. He will take it, but he will not be able to execute it.
Correct, sir.
So workload is very important. How much workload he has, and what is his capacity, and whether he is able to sustain or not. Okay. Then also you should make a site visit of the running sites to understand his work methods, his ethical practices in work, what he is following, and those things, to check like safety, health, and his supervision, how he is doing it, quality control and other things. You have to actually do physically the site visits, which is not being done. Majority of the cost management people, because I was part of the cost management, I know that cost management companies are getting the document, paper, they will compare, they will send qualified, qualified, qualified. When the contractor fails, then the question arises, who has recommended? If you see, then everybody has recommended, but nobody checked. That is how it goes. So that is very important.
Okay,
What is
sir.
negotiation tendering? What is the advantage of it?
What is negotiation? Negotiated tendering? What is the advantage?
Yes.
Okay, okay, sir. Voice is coming slow. That's why.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, negotiated tendering. In case of client do not have much of the time and they do not perform the bid a bid analysis for long term bid analysis. So to make shorten of the tendering procedure, they and if they have their enlisted vendors or registered contractors who has their past experience working with, they generally directly call them for their special type of work. They directly call the special type of special contractor and they negotiate on the price because they will be knowing their quality or capacity of their delivery.
What is tender report?
Tender report. Sir, I am not sure of it. Tender report.
Have you done any tender recommendation?
Take on tender recommendation. I have seen. I have not written it. I have seen tender recommendations.
So it is a tender recommendation is nothing but once you close your procurement process, you make the list of tenders,
Yes.
participants, what is their submission, if there are any area errors, when it is opened, what is the value, any revised submissions, all those things are captured. And then you will have, and their capacity also, whether they have the capacity or not, then you will have the final recommendation wherein you will say why you are recommending. That is what the final recommendation goes by the person who is handling the tendering process.
Okay, sir.
That is tender report. Why
Okay,
this
sir.
question is this is part of your level 3 question actually.
Okay.
If you see the tendering, there are only two three activities. Level 3. One is comparison of different procurement routes or suggestion for a specific form of contract or type of procurement route.
Yes.
Third one is this one. Now come to project finance. Change control process. Can you explain?
Change control process. Yes. This is related to post contract work when construction work is ongoing, but still there is some changes. So they if there is some changes, we have to go through the change control process.
What is that? Can you explain?
It's a process through which we make the changes. Like there will be change.
I understand that process, but how you do it? See, change control is very easy to tell the word, but the process is very lengthy. Lengthy means it is not so easy. What are the steps?
Steps. Okay, sir. So there will, if there is a change, there will be some notification of change. If the notification is
who will issue the notification of change?
Client generally notify the contractor, and it's depend on the type of contracts. If or the procurement route. If it is the design build, then the design is prepared by the contractor itself, then contractor may notify the client that there is a change, or if there is a change. So change can be introduced by both of the employer and contractor. And
But
after
all the changes are not eligible for change order, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So then
Generally they negotiate and talk. They meet and then talk. Through emails, they will notify.
That you are going to the end process.
There will be a change control committee board.
Okay, you first explain. I will explain what it is. First, you tell whatever you are understanding. You just tell me the steps. Then we will discuss here.
Okay. Generally, notification is there. The party client notify the contractor that there is a change, and there will be a change committee board where they will check what is the change and what is the impact of the change, and if they approve, they also will check as per the quality and the quality impact other than cost and even the sustainability aspect they might check. And after that, if the change the board approves, then through the amendment process or like through they might give another contracts, the prepare agreements, or they can modify the scope depending on the changes or.
See, change control is nothing but a variation only. Okay. There is nothing separately called change control. Change control is a terminology driven by the software industry, basically. In terms of construction, civil engineering, it is variation only. There is nothing separate clause called change control in any of the contracts, standard forms. It's variation. Whenever there is a change, if it is initiated by the employer, he will issue an instruction. That is called a variation instruction or a change instruction. When the employer issues the instruction, it becomes a variation by the employer. So the contractor then submits the variation proposal, then the cost will be verified, then accepted, and the work will continue. And contractor cannot stop the work. The day he receives the variation instruction, he should start working on it. He should not wait for till the item is approved. He has to start his work. Variation will get, because it is an employer variation, it will get approved. The amount, there may be a difference of amount, that other procedures are there. If a contractor feels it is not sufficient, he can go through a dispute resolution procedure and other it. That is different process. Second thing is, there are certain site related variations. That is, during the construction, there is a variation required which a contractor raises. Like, this is not from the original scope. This is an added scope. Contractor asks the employer to instruct a variation. Unless the employer instructs, it is not a variation. Though it is, contractor has to execute the work. Unless the employer accepts and say yes, it is a variation, it is not a variation. See, if the scope is beyond the original scope, then the employer will go through the drawings, process everything, then he will say yes, it is a variation, go ahead. Then the contractor submits his cost and other things. Till the employer accepts, it doesn't become a variation. Even in employer designed items I'm talking, because somewhere in some conditions it is related works, associated works, something is written. That word he can capture and you are supposed to work.
Yes.
So that way it goes. So identifying the variation is very important. You have to compare with the tender, you have to compare with the GFC drawings. You have to compare with the contract provisions, you have to compare with the actual requirements. What is happening at site level. There are sometimes it's given in way of function. See, I say I want a table, okay? I'm not defining anything in the employer requirement. I am telling it is only table. So what the contractor does, he will have 4 legs, he will put one plank, and it is a table. Employer requirement is fulfilled, but yes, as per contract it is fulfilled. But somewhere in the employer document,
yes,
he will say, I want a smooth finish, I want a laminate finish, I want a veneer finish.
yes,
I should have a stand to keep my pen. I should have a stand to keep my laptop. I should
correct.
have 3 drawers. I should have a place to keep my footrest. And front side it should be closed because my leg and should not be visible to the other person.
Correct.
It should not touch the other person. So these requirements are mentioned in somewhere in technical specification or functional requirement or whatever is it. Which people are not noticing, they will go, it is a change. When the person goes through all these requirements, then he will say it is all defined. This is not a table we are asking for. This is how it goes many times.
Correct.
But if it is not defined, then contractor is right on his way.
Okay, sir.
Okay, got it? So this is how the change is initiated first. In the change order process, the initiation of the change is very important. It goes like this. One is notice of change, and then change initiation. If it is accepted, the contractor will submit his proposal, then verification of the cost and proposal, then final approval, and it is considered as a change order and awarded. If the employer doesn't accept, it is rejected. Means that stops there only. Contractor has still to bear his cost. Contractor cannot stop because you have not approved, I will not do. He cannot say why he is not approving. There should be a reason for it. Okay. Can you tell me earthwork, how you analyze the risk?
Generally, there is RICS registers from the past projects. We will be having RICS register, and RICS can
Okay,
be.
if there is no past project record, then
Okay, sir. So analyzing of risk through quantitative and qualitative analysis are made of risks. The probable risks are listed down. Probable risks first. Probable risks of risks are listed down, and then we check the probability of the occurrence. We check, and this is how we identify the risks.
what is quantitative and what is qualitative?
Quantitative are generally that can be measured in numbers, and qualitative is like what we cannot measure in number, but we check the impact. So we perform generally impact matrix.
Okay, this is the general risk management methodology you explained.
Yes,
That I understood.
yes.
I am asking specific question. How you analyze the risk in earthwork?
Okay, okay. So depending on the site conditions, risks are checked, uh, and there will be like design risks. There various types of risks there. Whether it is design risks or execution risks, or like as per NRM one, there are four type of risks. One is design risks, second is execution risks, construction risks, third is employers risks, and third is fourth is employers other risks. Where employer other risks covers the market increase in market price, there is change in legislations. So this kind of covered in employers other risks. And in design risks, there is risks of design changes. So and in construction risks, there will be the probability of change in scope, or due to the methodology or execution statement, the risks associated with execution. So that those risks are under construction risks. So these are generally enlisted. The probable risks are enlisted, and based on that, these are included in the cost when we prepare the budget.
But you understood the total. I understood your explanation. You have explained the total process. I am asking specific question. How you analyze the risk with respect to earthwork?
With respect
I am asking
to
specific
artwork.
one item only.
Okay, so for earthwork excavation, one risk can be like collapsion of the sides of the earth. So that could be one risk. So for that, if we're constructing basements excavation or open cut excavation, then we should take measures for it.
No, that is a risk mitigating measure or a risk restriction. Okay. I'm asking how you analyze this. For example, there is a possibility of collapse. How you analyze it?
I don't know, sir. It's not. I'm not aware of it.
Any risk with related to earthwork, what will you do first? Unless you have the soil investigation, can you able to analyze any risk in the earthwork?
No, sir. No, no, sir.
So your answer is one line answer. You gone around and come back.
Okay, sir.
You're trying to understand. See, whenever there is a risk, whenever you are analyzing the risk, you should have something to risk analyze, correct? Otherwise, you will say general contingency, correct?
Yes.
See, if there is no data, then you will put general contingency based on for some project or generally
Yes.
standard what you have taken. Then you will put so many conditions, this to be provided, this to be provided. Otherwise, you will say nothing is available, general contingency. If soil investigation data is available, then you know what is soil condition. It is a clay, then there is a possibility of collapse. It is a rock, there is no shoring required, but there may be a possibility of additional time spent on rock excavation itself, because maybe rock hardness index is not provided.
Yes.
Type of rock is not fully aware of it. Maybe the borehole will give only location. The overall site how it is we don't know. So those are the type of things you will analyze from the soil investigation. That is a borehole data. Without that, you cannot analyze it. What is provisional sum?
Provisional sums are generally the activities or the items which details are not available at the time of awarding the contract. So clients generally put a provision of those items. Those will be executed later through variation.
Whether any amount is mentioned in provisional sum?
Yes, sometimes amount is there mentioned by generally contractors come with the price of those provisional items and they get clarified of those items.
Now coming to quantification and costing.
Okay, sir.
What is SMM?
SMM is standard mode of measurement, and it is generally used in UK region. As I don't have worked with SMM, but I have an idea overview of it. It is for civil work and any kind of civil works, and it is used in UK.
It is used in India also.
Oh, okay, 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 sir.
You are not using in SMM here?
No.
You are not using CESMM, okay? You are using SMM in India. SMM is not related to particular country. SMM is a standard terminology across globe, standard mode of measurement
Yes.
or standard method of measurement. What is the SMM used in India?
Why it is standard mode of measurement for checking of for preparation of BOQs and checking the measurements, mode of measurements and payments.
Yeah, what is used in India?
Why it is used in India?
What is the standard mode of measurement we use in India?
Okay, we generally we use IS 1200 or
IS 1200 is the SMM. IS 1200 is SMM for India.
Okay, okay, okay.
CESMM 4 is for UK.
Okay.
If you go to Gulf, they use POMI. Your NRM 1, NRM 2, they are with RICS, they are coming up with. That is more of an international one.
Yes.
SMM is varying from country to country.
Okay, okay.
SMM is a standard terminology, that is standard mode of measurement.
Okay.
Okay. What is day work schedule?
Day of schedules are again there's a minor works which is not mentioned in the scope but have to do to perform the main work, and that cannot be measured in or in the BOQ, that cannot be mentioned in the BOQ. So it can be labor, some unskilled labor work or unskilled labors are involved, also some semi-skilled labors are involved. So these are these payments are again processed through variations.
Why it cannot be mentioned in BOQ? You can still mention supply of labors, correct?
Yeah, because no particular specific work. It can be sum of many works, small activities, minor works.
Fine, supply of labors, that's fine. So far you count the number of labors, it is fine. You can still qualify in the BOQ. It is not mentioned in the BOQ. It is for the works which are not quantifiable. You said which cannot be mentioned in the BOQ. It is not right.
Okay.
Which cannot be quantifiable.
Quantified. Okay.
See, for example, client will ask you, I want JCB for 1 hour to do, or otherwise he will say, do some excavation there.
Hmm.
You bring your JCB and you do the excavation. Within half an hour, it is over. But actually, you cannot measure because he is not doing any pit or something. He will just remove some debris from JCB and dump it somewhere. You cannot measure. So for that, there is a rate is fixed, supply of JCB hourly basis. Usually, when you use FIDIC conditions, people will give a day work schedule as also a one sheet along with the tender, wherein he has to mention different items like welding machine, JCB, manpower supply, skilled, unskilled, DG supply, DG higher charges, excavation higher charges. Like that, different items he will mention, and I will put some rates. Those rates shall be considered to measure that particular work. For example, supplied JCB for excavation. How many hours is supplied? 2 hours is supplied. 2 hours supply of JCB for doing so and so work. You will mention the area only. You cannot quantify the volume. So you will use the day work schedule and you will measure. That's it. Difference between bill of quantities and bill of materials.
Bill of quantities and bill of materials. Okay, bill of quantities are basically total work of executed activity or any activity. And suppose we have to do some brick work, then total measurement of the this cubic meter of brickwork or this square meter of brickwork is in BOQ. But bill of material is about material. The total amount of brick, number of brick required to perform this cubic meter of brick wall, or some this for mortar, number of quantity requires for sand and cement. So these are bill of materials, which is generally specified, like consumption factors of the bill of materials.
See, usually what happens, I will tell you. When you say bill of quantity, it contains items, item work quantity. Means if it is excavation, 100 cubic meter, it will say. In the bill of material, what you are telling bill of material, it is for material procurement. Generally, in technical terminology, I will say to the design consultant, so by this week, you give me a bill of quantity. Then the design consultant comes and says, I will give you the bill of quantity 2 days later, but I will give you the bill of material within the next 2 days. You go through it. If you have any doubt, you please comments, you please let us know. Then we will update the quantity accordingly. In the bill of material, the line items are mentioned. Quantity is not there.
Okay. Quantity is not there, line items are there. Okay.
Okay, means, for example, you are aware, client is aware that I want vitrified tile, granite, ceramic tile, I want jaguar fittings, I want some
Yes.
Paint here, some specific paint here. All those items are captured or not, that he will go through. If he thinks any item to be added, he will just make a comment. So that left hand side is gone through. Somebody has reviewed. So there is a process completed. This is two ways of looking into it. One is the consultant also gets some time. He should not get into with quantity he submit. He was done. He's in the process. He has done the halfway work. Left hand is done. Only the right hand side he has to fill in. If the items are approved, fill that. That's it. What is parametric estimation you had mentioned in your submission?
Yes, parametric estimation method is it's a preliminary estimate methods where we before preparation of budget, or to have a concept of how much quantity or how much amount it would be cost for
can
the
you give
project.
one example? Can you give one example?
Yes,
Preliminary method. You just mention the method. That's it.
Yes, like if we have to construct a hospital project, but we do not have the details of the design, so we'll take what is the number of bed of the hotel project, and we'll take reference from the past projects, like 5 or 6 past projects of this number of bedded hospital, how much cost was required, and we take it as a reference for the new projects. So these are called parametric estimate method.
What is reconciliation?
Reconciliation is material when client issue free materials, provide materials to the contractor. The client need to submit the reconciliation statement to the client billing engineer during their interim payments. So where they give the the material where it's check the material issued to them, issued to the contractor, and how much they have consumed or executed against the executed work, and how much they have their inventory, and what is their in wastage, or how much they have wastage of the material. So it is to check the wastage percentage, and in contract the wastage percentage is also mentioned. And if the wastage percentage is within the limit, then it is okay to proceed. And if there is the wastage percentage is not within the limit, then they will deduct some amount, and that will, as per the contract, it will be mentioned in the contract.
That is for the client supplied material. If the client is not supplying any material, then
then contractor should have also their checklist. Like they will have their subcontractors maybe who is working under them. So subcontractors will submit the reconciliation to the contractor. Main motto is to do not waste the to not make or limiting the wastage. So wastage percentage is also mentioned.
If you don't do the reconciliation, what happens?
If we don't do the reconciliation, unnecessary wastage of materials will be there, and there will be no clue where what is the stock amount or inventory amount, inventory whether material is there in the inventory or not. So these data will be missing. How much quantity already executed, and whether how much quantity we have to procure.
Say, let us say, as per requirement, it is concrete. Let us say concrete. Concrete as per BOQ is 100 cubic meters. Okay, you have procured 102 cubic meters. 102 cubic meters. You have procured. Now you will consider the wastage with respect to the supply quantity, or you can consider the wastage with respect to the measured quantity.
Okay, it is with respect to supply quantity.
Why?
Because supply quantity will be including the design factors, like there will be some design wastage.
See, it cannot be with respect to supply quantity. It has to be with respect to the measured quantity.
Okay.
See, when you have to execute only 100 cubic meter, why you ordered 102 cubic meter? Your measurement is including wastage, correct? Your wastage,
in that
wastage cost is already built in your rate.
Yes.
So then how you procure 102? That is the first question. That means procurement quantity itself is wrong. 102, if you add the wastage, then you have more. It has to be with respect to the measured quantity. It cannot be with supply. For example, rebar. If your consumption is 20 tons, wastage, allowable wastage, whatever is there, should be with respect to 20 tons. It should, supply quantity may be irrespective. From the supply, then you minus the consumption, minus the available usable bars, then whatever is left is basically the wastage. If that percentage goes beyond a specified percentage, then it is penalized. It is nothing to do with the supply quantity. It has to be with the actual quantity requirement. With respect to that, the percentage should be mentioned always. Can you just explain the guidelines measuring plaster as per IS 1200?
Yes, sir. Guidelines. It is measured as per square feet or square meter of area, and there is some set of deductions rules against it. Like first one, it says is if any deduction is less than 0.5 square meter, then no deductions will be there. And it is the deduction is the openings is within 0.5 to 3 square meter, then the deductions will be made as per the plaster thickness of the plaster of the both sides. So deductions will be made if it is in both sides of the wall. If the equal thickness of plaster is there, then the half of the opening areas will be deducted. And if there is more than like there is it's depends on the reveals part. Like if the thickness of the plaster is one side is not same with the another side, then depending on the reveals, it will be deducted from the lesser side of the reveals. I mean the where it will be less reveals, the deduction will be made on that part only. And again, if the opening is more than 3 square meter, then deduction will be made from both the sides.
See, when up to 3 square meter, the reduction is not happening on both the sides. It will be only on one side.
One side, but in that case, a single if those parts will be same, thickness will be same, and then from one single side, sir.
So it is generally it is deducted from the external plaster.
Yes. But if the thickness is not same,
when it is same, people make it internal because the rates are different. It is made it is same, but otherwise it has to be deducted from the area where you have more reveal. Where you have the offset more, that side you have to deduct. The other side you leave it. When it is equal, they will make it as both the sides 50-50. That is half side here, half side here. One face on either side is not accepted.
yes,
It is totally one face only you have to deduct,
one face. Yes,
not both the sides.
yes. I made that mistake.
If it is more than 3 square meters, then you have to deduct for both the places, then add for the
Soffit
soffits.
steels.
Can you just explain the steps, line item steps for the retaining wall, rate analysis? You have to do a rate
Retaining.
analysis from the first principle.
Hmm.
What are the line items for a retaining wall? Can you just say, let us say this 1, 2, 3, 4.
For retaining wall, if it is if retaining walls are basically generally concrete walls, sir, right? So we have to, if we consider concrete wall as a retaining wall, then concrete cement will be there, materials will be there, cement, sand, and then aggregates will be there, and then rebars will be there. The tools and tackles required for this activity will be there, and labor required for per square cubic meter of wall, or as per the measurement, I don't know. Up to the required labor cost will be there, and then some profit of the contractor will be calculated. So how we can arrive at the rate?
What is cost plan?
Cost plan is basically budgeted cost or cost limit projected on the timeline. It's time as per the schedule. It's time. So cost plan is the cost limits as per the timeline.
What is benchmark costing?
Benchmarking is similar to parametric estimate. So when we do not have the details, so we from the previous projects we take the reference. So we call it's benchmarking cost.
Previous projects, when you say previous project data, which data you take it?
Which
See,
data?
let us say, I will tell you, I will give you an example. Let us say you have a completed project, okay, of a residential building, okay, wherein you have given a final cost plan.
Mm.
Whether you take that rate or you will take the final bill of the contractor final accounts rate.
Contractor's final account rate.
Life cycle costing.
Life cycle costing is the total cost mm, from the acquiring or establishment of this activity, or any of any equipments. Let's say any equipment. So acquiring cost of this implement, then operation and maintenance of this equipments, and then the disposal of the equipment. So in total, it is called life cycle costing. It calculates the whole total up to the.
Can there be any life cycle costing for the building or not?
Yes, sir, it can be life cycle costing.
Now coming to conflict of interest, okay, what is difference between mediation and conciliation? Because you have given this as optional in level 2. I don't know how you have given optional in level 2. Because ideally, this where you are directly involved in a arbitration and mediation, then only you should write this as level 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Through my cost consultancy service, I was a part of not the executively. I didn't execute it, but I was part of it. I was preparing. I was taken part in the mediation process in the project where we had ITC project. We had some disputes with the client. That time, I was supporting the mediator with the supporting documents, as I was involved in that project. So I was having the documents.
Okay, can you just
As a
explain
technical person, I was supporting only.
Okay, can you just explain the difference between mediation and conciliation?
The mediation, mediation difference in mediation and conciliation, sir.
Huh.
So in mediation process, mediation is not legally binding, and it when it is both the parties try to settle it amicably before going to conciliation process. Conciliation process will be more legally binded, but it is not the first. It takes more than mediation process. So mediation process is the fast track process where in front of some third party, like two parties can negotiate with each other and should make their valid points to come into a solution.
See, the basic difference is in a mediation process, the mediator just facilitates the negotiation. He is not involved in the negotiation at all.
Okay.
Okay. Means he will just provide a platform for two people to come together. They themselves has to discuss and agree upon. Mediator is just providing them because he knows, or with his relation with both the people, he will talk to them and come and sit here. He will just facilitate. He will not involved in any of the in the discussions. He will not have any role to play in the discussion. Whereas in the conciliation, the conciliator also can put forth his view. This is the way forward. You can go ahead. I feel so. If you both agree, then we will finish it off. Mediator cannot say that.
Yes, he was not, in our case also, he was not giving his suggestions, but instead we were supporting our documents only, but for the claims they were raised.
Mediator is only a facilitator, whereas a conciliator is also, he can also provide inputs. Mediator cannot. That is the basic difference. What is the important factor to be considered in drafting the arbitration clause?
So in arbitration clause, there should be an arbitration mechanism. How, if any disputes arise in the project, how it will be resolved. So there should be a mechanism for that.
No, that is okay. What is the important factor to be considered in the clause? Mechanism is fine. You have to define the mechanism. Okay, what are the factors to be considered?
Okay, if there will be a dispute resolution board or some
dispute resolution board is nothing to do with arbitration. I'm asking arbitration clause. You have to proceed.
Okay, where it will be if dispute arise, how, where or how they can resolve it. Which, how, with authority, which court or which law or court of law they can refer to.
Arbitration is not in court of law. Arbitration through Arbitration Act.
Arbitration Act.
You have to specify the place of arbitration.
Place of, yes.
Place means it is subjected to Delhi jurisdiction, Kolkata jurisdiction, Mumbai jurisdiction. So you have to mention that. That is very important. And if in India, it is in India, the governing law is India. If it is abroad, there you have to say the governing law also. Now come to mandatory compensation. What is integrity?
Integrity. Integrity.
Define in one sentence.
Okay. Integrity, that they will follow the RICS guidelines.
Forget about RICS guidelines. Just define what is integrity in one line.
Integrity is acting honestly.
Okay, you are acting honestly. Fine. See, for example, now you are working in a office. Okay, your boss, when your boss is there in the office, you are working very honestly. When your boss is not there, the moment boss left the office, you are also going off immediately. You are not bothered about the delivery, whatever is it. So is it integrity?
No, it is not, as it is morally not right. And I'm not performing.
So then honesty is not integrity.
Okay, morally correct. Whether it is morally right or not.
If you have to define in one sentence, integrity is nothing but what you are supposed to do, you should do irrespective of somebody supervising or not. Or you have to answer to somebody or not, that is irrespective. What you are supposed to do, you have to do. I have to answer to somebody, I have to do the work, or he's asking question, I have to do. That is not integrity. Whether he's asking or not, that is immaterial. You should do your duty.
Okay,
So
sir.
that is integrity. If you have to define in one sentence, that is what it is. Any gift handling or hospitality example?
Uh, Hospitality gives, like sometimes on Diwali or festivals, uh, contractors come with sweets or like gifts. Generally, what happens, like RICS guideline says, if you company has a specific gifting policies and they mention that this much within gifts within this much amount is permitted, then you can accept this gift. Otherwise, you cannot accept this gift. And if you are receiving some gift, then there should be a gift register where it should be mentioned.
What is client care?
What is client care, sir?
Client care.
Okay. Client care is delivering the service or delivering the service with high quality and with respect to their requirements.
What is stakeholder management?
Stakeholder management is managing the associate people or stakeholders who associate members or like people who are associate with the projects. Like there should be internal stakeholder, external stakeholders,
From where you establish?
From where? Okay, so it is established from the initiation phase of the projects, like when internal stakeholders are
So let us say you are not at the initiation stage. Okay, you come in between. So from where you will get it?
okay, it is mentioned from the project charter. In project brief is there, so in project brief it will be mentioned like who are the project stakeholders.
What is the difference between balance sheet and profit and loss statement?
Balance sheet is more about mentioning each activities, that all the transactions, and both the areas will be equally, all expenses and all incomes will be mentioned there. And profit and loss statement, basically it contains the losses, accounts of losses and the profit incurred due to some activities. So these will be listed down.
One example of sustainability in civil construction.
Okay, one example of sustainability is using using of there are lots of good environment eco-friendly materials or equipments or design, like if we are designing.
I'm asking only one example.
Achha,
one material you take.
One material, sustainable material. Sustainable material, like use of ACC blocks, or yes, use of ACC block.
Have you heard of anything called green concrete?
Sorry, sir.
Green concrete.
Green concrete, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Green concrete. I heard of that, but I don't know much about it. Green concrete.
It is using either fly ash or GGBS.
Okay.
In place of cement. There are certain percentages of road as per IS that is normally used across every project now. Okay, what is the inclusive environment? One example. Give one example.
Inclusive example. Okay, one example will be like creating a ramp with a slope of 1:1.1:12. That is mentioned in the PWD Act.
So let us say you have tweeted with a photo. Okay, this is a photo for background photo is one of your client's property.
So I didn't get the first word, sir.
You have made a tweet with a background
Okay,
photo.
background of the client's photo.
The background photo is client's photo.
Okay.
And the clients get your tweet from somewhere and they complain to you. Okay. What is your action?
If they complain me, then definitely there should be their confidential statement. It has been mentioned, and I have to remove it.
Yes. Where you have involved in health and safety?
Where? Sorry, sir.
Health and safety audit. Were you involved anywhere?
Yes, I was a part of a health and safety audit sometimes. I mean, in one of the project, I was assisting the health and safety officer.
Okay. How else you can contribute to health and safety as a QS?
In many aspects, sir. Firstly, like what we have done in our past projects, like we have mandate submit a checklist. They have performed all the they have performed their job with maintaining all the health and safety criteria that has been mentioned by the health and safety officer, and she used to sign on that, and that has to attach with the bill or like interim payment. So
That is a
this made
compliance.
them
That is a
compliance.
compliance part.
Hmm.
As a QS, for example, you are involved in only pre-contract activity. Let us say, as a QS, what you can do?
As a keyword, generally we sometimes we visit at site, and we can.
If you are in the pre-contract activity, where will you visit the site?
Okay, in that case, we have to check in tendering documents, or like if the bidding documents, we have to check what are their records they have for health and safety. Is there any past issues in their project? Any incidents happens? Any accidents happens in there? So we have to check in that way.
You have to provide the required health and safety norms in the tender to
Okay.
comply. That is as a part of pre-qualification. You can check, but still in the contract tender conditions, you have to provide the requirements. If it's not provided, tomorrow if the contractor is not doing something, you cannot question him. Okay, that makes the end of this mock interview for you.
Okay.
So
Thank you very much, sir.
if you have anything, you can ask now. Further things, or otherwise we can close it now.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, because it has been very much helpful session for me. I got very clarified, and it added lots of value to my to for my case. I will definitely make the changes what you have mentioned for the case studies. I will prepare the slides, and the answers what you have taught me to reframe. Probably I will listen those things. And as of now, I have not much questions. Only one question that I think I need more preparation, and I think I should prepare one
See,
more
you
mock
should
if possible.
you are more towards a theoretically you are okay, but
Okay.
when it comes to practical application, which you need have to fine tune yourself. Because practical application side on the construction post contract part, you are a little bit weak, which you have to strengthen yourself.
Yes. My experience are basically on pre-contract, sir. Post-contract, I
Yeah,
have worked in at the initial stages. I have worked for 3 to 4 years. I have worked for post-contract, but
yeah, that is I
afterwards, it's
understand. I understand from your submission, I could able to make it out that, but that is what I was thinking. Why you selected for commercial management? You could have easily gone for a design.
design. Yes, this
Design
idea
economics are
didn't
your core
came.
competence,
Yes,
your
yes,
core competency, because that is where you worked more,
yes, yes.
and you are making it as an optional one. It should have been the other way around.
Yes, initially I was thinking, but I was confused. Nobody has guided me in that way, probably. Anyways, I cannot do much on it, and probably
No, it's okay. It's already submitted. When is your interview?
it is on 15th of March.
Okay. I
So,
just have one request. I
yes, sir.
want I want the recorded copy of this mock interview.
Okay, sir. I will definitely
I'm
share it
not
with you.
using it for any other purpose. I will make some addition in this. Maybe I will remove your photo part and use it for some other.
Yes,
Where it-
yes. Yes, sir. You can do it. No issues. You can do it. And thank you very much. And sir, I'm asking it as you have put so much of time, and I am very much obliged for it. And you have even taught me in so well. I know as you have mentioned, experienced person always gives some better understanding of little small clarifications. And if those clarification is not there, then the whole concepts can be wrong, going wrong. So you made me in that way. I am very much obliged for that.